Okay, obviously bearing in mind that even though we're doing non-destructive space creation, we still need to be wearing the correct PPE as per our standard operational procedures. We can't afford to get injured, so therefore we can't afford to be slack with our PPE just because you're using this type of tool. You can see there, I'm just going to get in here for you, might be able to have a better look. There we go. Tech strap, no longer an issue. And while I'm here, what we will need to do before we do the cut, again like we said earlier, is to cut the wiring using insulated wire cutters. Here we go, simple as that. Again, another good reason why we have tool belts and bits of kit in our pockets, so we're not running around the incident scene trying to get bits of kit that we haven't got on us. Save a bit of time. Okay, what we're going to do now, obviously I'm on my own today for the purposes of this video, but as always you'll be working in pairs, so whilst I'm undoing the bolts on the door, my number two is working with me, looking after me. We'll be taking the weight of the door, so once the last bolt's done, he's got the weight of the door and we can take it away to the equipment dump. Okay, because I'm on my own today, I've reshut the door so that the door latch will hold the door in place and it doesn't drop off on me. Okay, always start at the bottom, work at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to get these bolts undone now. And this is what we call non-destructive space creation. Okay, there we go, so as fast as that. No messing around with hydraulics, no tearing of doors, no worry about the size of the hinge and whether or not we can cut it. Again, I must repeat, this isn't going to work on every single vehicle. We're not going to have access to the bolts on every single door hinge, so it won't always be the case. But where we can, if we've got the tools, simple as that. Now we just watch this drop off. Okay, simple as that. There we go there. Instantly we've got rid of the door. Front door's tied back out of the way. Yeah, and we've just created ourselves quite a bit of space without even having to use any hydraulics. Okay, what we're going to do now is just going to quickly look at some techniques. If we had the door still attached, we do a technique called the gull wing, which is basically where we fold the B-post back up over the roof, called the gull wing because we would leave the rear door still attached. Beauty with a tool such as a torque wrench, I've managed to bolt this door back on. And what we're going to do now is demonstrate the gull wing technique. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of prep, move some of this rubbers, check behind the trim, which we would do at an incident. As soon as I've done that, we'll come back on. Okay, what we're going to do now is a technique called the gull wing, which is basically where we put two deep cuts through the sill strengthening either side of the B-post. This then enables us to put the whole of the B-post and the door, fold it up over the roof, exposing the whole side of the vehicle. Bearing in mind this technique doesn't always work. As with everything in the extrication world, we have our plan A, B, C, D and E, etc. So should this technique not work, or we find that the sill and the base of the B-post is just too strong, or there's that much metal there we're unable to roll it up onto the roof, then obviously we'll go to our plan A, B, C, D and E. I've removed all the rubber trim, I've exposed all the plastics to make sure we haven't got any SOS devices at the base of the B-post. Obviously if there are SOS sensors within the sill, we're not going to know they're there unless you are using some sort of crash recovery system which comes software on a computer tablet which may tell you where they are. In this situation again, yeah, we might not have been able to shut down the battery because the vehicle's on its roof. Again, depending on the car, battery might be in the boot, under the footwell, somewhere else. Anyway, we'll get on with the technique and we'll see how we get on. Hopefully it'll work. Beauty of this 110, it's got the rotating head, so I can change that to rotate in the entirely position that I want. Pretty good. post. Okay, we cut through the base of the B post. One of the things to bear in mind is where you've got a vehicle on its roof, you have all that weight compressed in the base of the B post. So in this instance we're demonstrating that it can be done without hydraulics. However, I will advocate cutting the base of the top of the B post with hydraulics. So this way all the weight of that B post doesn't clamp down on the reset blade and jam it into the post. Okay, now we're going to go on and do the final cut at the top. Right, here we go. Hopefully that's it. Fingers crossed this will fold up nice.